Luke at City Hall, thank you. Now, a new online magazine launches in the capital this week. The Advantages of Age is described as an outlet where nothing is off limits and was created by a group of women writers who felt modern media didn't reflect their interests. Well, Suzanne Noble is one of those behind it and joins me now. Well, Suzanne, thanks very much for being here. Now, am I right in thinking that the idea for this came when you were in a hot tub? Explain.
Yeah. So I have a hot tub stroke jacuzzi in my back garden in Kilburn.
Very nice.
And once a month I invite some writer friends along, just loads of women come along, and we always have very colourful conversations about sex and relationships and the news and what we're doing. And it struck us that what we were talking about wasn't reflected in the media. And it was one of us who said, I think we should do something about that, and we should call it Advantages of Age. And me being the sort of go-getting type that I am, bought the domain name the next day and started working on the site, and that's how it was born.
When you mentioned this outside your immediate friendship circle, what were the type of reactions you got?
Well, actually, everyone was incredibly encouraging because, like myself, my friends also believe that the media narrative around aging is just not reflecting our own lives. So they were really chuffed to see something that was. So generally, it was really positive.
The media, television in particular, has always been pretty ageist. Do you think things are slowly moving in the right direction, or do you think it's still as bad as it was?
I think it's pretty bad, actually. It's not just TV. I mean, I think mainstream media, particularly newspapers, what you always are reading about is like anti-aging creams, and these are some jeans that will look good on you, and things that generally are about menopause and how terrible it is. And we don't see that reflected in our own lives. I mean, it's really interesting because people that are in the baby boomer generation are now in their 50s. And we were the punks, you know, we were the ones who were out there doing stuff and being creative, and we don't feel that that's changed.
So what are the types of things, you've kind of hinted at some of them, but what are the types of things that you're going to be doing that you wouldn't see elsewhere?
Well, we talk about things like why menopausal sex is the best ever, which I don't think you will read elsewhere, about raving at 53. Quite a lot of stuff is curated from other places as well, so we find things around the web that we think reflect the attitude of the site, and we pull them in. So some of it is our own content and some of it comes from elsewhere. As long as it has the same ethos. You see quite a lot of people with coloured hair, and just generally things that are, like I said, not represented. So we cover news, culture, sex, relationships, and quite a lot around wellness and spirit without talking about anti-aging creams.
And who would you say are your dream interviewees, or are there features that you're hoping to do perhaps later on down the line?
I think we'd say that if we could get Helen Mirren on our board, we'd be absolutely delighted. I think she totally reflects our ethos. She's outrageous, she's still working, and she's just wonderful.
On the wish list then, brilliant, and we'll try and get her to listen in. Sure, she's a regular viewer to London Live. And if I'm guessing that the jacuzzi has actually become a bit of a theme since it started out as helping the idea along, is that right?
Yeah, so we do this thing called Ask the Ladies of the Hot Tub, which is our own agony aunt column. So every month someone asks us a question and we debate it in the hot tub. So we get 4 very, very different views, which is interesting.
Well, as it was described, nothing is off limits. The Advantages of Age. Suzanne Noble, thanks very much for coming in to explain it.
Thank you.